Hello, Kamato class! Welcome back sa isa na namang pagtuklas ng aralin sa mathematics. After our presentation on quartile and decile, this time we'll be working with measures of position for group data. Specifically, we will find the percentile. Recall that percentiles are the 99 score points that divide a distribution into 100 equal parts. Consider this percentile illustration with selected part of the distribution, such as percentile 10, percentile 20, and so on, with parts in between, for instance, percentile 10 and percentile 20. So there are still parts of the percentile in between each of these presentation. Let us begin with the percentile formula for group data. This is the formula that we will be using to calculate the percentile, which is the same as the formula in quartile and decile, except that we will be using the symbol percentile, and that I is the nth percentile, since we will be using 1 up to 99, unlike with quartile 1, 2, and 3, and with decile 1 to 9. And at the same time, the formula to calculate the percentile class will be k times n over 100. So let us continue. Okay, let us consider that we're about to calculate percentile 68 using mathematics exam of grade 12 law. This is the same table we used to find the quartile and decile. So the process of finding the lower boundaries, this part, and cumulative frequency, this part, is visible in that video. So you can watch the video on quartile and decile so that you can still recall how to obtain the lower boundaries and the cumulative frequency. So now that we have the data on the table, let us try to find the percentile 68. So let us now calculate the percentile 68 class, since that's the first thing that we need to understand. And to find that, we'll be using this percentile 68 class, k times n over 100, wherein k is equal to 68 since we are looking for percentile 68. So we will substitute that here sa k, ang n natin ay 45 over 100. And 68 times 45 is 3060 divided by the 100. And when you divide that, the answer is 30 and 6 tenths. So yan yung ating magiging percentile 68 class na kailangan natin to determine or to calculate the percentile. So let us continue. Okay, so this time we need to locate the class interval where percentile 68 class is situated. So remember that the percentile 68 is 30 and 6 tenths. So with that, we can now work on with our cumulative frequency. Dito tayo magsimula. This part is the first, second, and third score kasi may tatlong frequency sa class 11 to 15. So first, second, third score. Dito naman from 4th score to 15 score. Dito naman from 16 score to 20, 30 score. And sa kasunod niyan ay 20, 40 score to 33 score. So dahil yun ay nasa 24 to 33 score at yung ating percentile 68 class na 30 and 60 tenths ay between na dito, nasa pagitan na nito. Hence, ito yung gagamitin nating class, which is 26 to 30. So since mayroon na tayong class na pag-uusapan, makukuha na natin ang lower boundary, which is 25 and 5 tenths. Makukuha na rin natin ang percentile, ang frequency percentile ng 68 class, which is 10, ang I natin ay interval na 5. Alam natin na 5 ang mga interval ng bawat class natin. Then, the summation of the frequency is 45 or N is 45. Siyempre, ang cumulative frequency below ay 23 kasi ito yung ating class. So, below that ay 23. So, ang mga given natin, N is 45, galing dito sa summation of F. Cumulative frequency below, which is 23. So, we have the frequency of the percentile class, which is 10, dito galing. Then the lower boundaries, which is lower boundary is 25 and 5/10. Then interval is 5. So, applying all of that information sa ating formula. So, we have this. So, solve na natin. Sabi ko nga, i-apply natin yung mga information na nakuha natin sa ating formula. So, let's start working with that. So, copy the lower boundary, which is 25 and 5/10 plus K, which is 68, times N, which is 45 over 100, minus the cumulative frequency below, which is 23, over the frequency of the percentile 68 class, which is 10. So, let us continue working with this, times the interval, which is 5. So, copy this. Then 68 times 45 divide 100 is 30 and 6/10 minus 23 over 10 times 5. Then copy uli natin ito. Then 30 and 6/10 minus 23 divide 10 times 5. That is equal to 3 and 8/10. So pag inad natin yan, so yan yung magiging percentile 68 natin. So the meaning of that is 68%, since we're talking of this at percentile yan, kasi 68% of the student have a score less than or equal to 29 and 3/10. So, natapos na natin ang measure of position. Come to class. That's all. God bless us.